I guess good morning. Let me share my screen. Come here. There are two places are there, right? Why you sit back? Huh? Daily. I'm saying this is the point. Today, what we need to discuss? No, no, no. Remaining aggregation functions. In aggregation functions, what we discussed yesterday? Average, right? Okay. Similar like other functions also. Min A, min X, max A, max X. Let's see. Okay. Next one is count function. Count means what is count function will do? It will count the number of records in a column. Okay. So that means in count function, what type of columns we need to pass? In average function, what type of columns we need to pass? Numeric and decimals, only these two columns. In count function, what columns we need to pass? Any, because it will count the number of records in that particular column. That's it. Okay. So that means in count function, you can pass numeric, decimal, character, or date related columns. Any type of column you can pass inside the count function. Okay. See here. Count is also returning a single value or multiple value? Single value only. All aggregation functions returns a single value. Okay. See here. Suppose, for example, in measure only we can apply it, right? Count. Okay. See here. Just click on this. Yeah. See here. I'm writing any name here, right? But what I need to write, I'm writing whatever function name is there, that name only I'm writing. Because by seeing the name, you will understand what function you are writing inside that one, right? That's the reason I'm writing the same name. Or else you can write any name here. Okay. After is equal to only, we have to apply count function. Count of which type of column you need to pass? Any type of column. Suppose care like a name related column. Okay. See here. Now see. How many records are there? 5. That so that means measure value we can show it in the card visual, right? That's what we discussed last time. Okay. Understand clearly or not? Okay. Next one is count A. You know, right? What is A related? Along with all the values, true or false also, it is accepted. For true means it will take it as 1, false means it will take it as 0, and it will count the records. Understand? Count X related. Okay. So this is not required. Count AX is not required. Next one is count blank. Count blank means only blank values, how many records are there in that particular column, it will count and it will give the result. Only blank values it will count. See here, suppose for example, okay, yeah. See, count blank, column name, sales column. What is that? Which data set sales it is? Append for. Just column name unit. Now see. See here. Is that clear or not? 9 records is there or not? That is what it is showing. Understand? Only for any column, blank values only it will count and it will give the result. Okay. So this is about count blank. Next one is count rows. What is count rows, Will? Huh? Yes. We discussed this on in transform data or not? Count rows. Did we discuss this option or not? You forget that option. Huh? See, in transform data also that option is there. If you go to the transform tab, there is a count rows option is there or not? Count rows means what it will do? It will count the number of records in a table. In a table, how many number of records are there? Those it will count and it will give the result. Okay. Table level count. Count rows function is table level count, not the column level. Understand? So, suppose for example, count, what happened? Count rows. In count rows function, you just need to pass table name, not the column name. You have to pass. See here. You just need to pass the table name. Any table name you can pass. In the table, how many number of records are there? It will count and it will give the result. Understand? See here. Suppose how many records are there? 12 records or not? Understand clearly or not? 12 records it will be. If you want, you can check it also. In this one, how many records are there? See here, it is showing 12 rows. Okay. Next one. What is the next function? Count row. After that, count x. See, you know, right? What is count x? What is average x? What is the syntax for average x? Table name, comma, expression, right? Table name, comma, expression. For other related x related functions also same. Context means table name, comma, expression. Understand? But in this context, okay, if you are calculating an expression, after that, if you count means the same records is displaying or not? You you didn't understand, right? Let's see practically. Suppose, for example, count x. Less sales. Okay, these are the two columns. I'm after this. What is the count? It will display. How many records it will display? 12 records only, because after adding these two values also, how many records are there, it will count and it will give the result, right? That means when you are using countex, okay, count and countex always returns the same. In any scenario, count and countex will return the same values. Understand or not? Okay, because even after calculating an expression also, what we will do, we will count the values, how many are there in that particular one, right? Suppose I want to add two columns or subtracting two columns. After subtracting, some values are getting, right? If I count those values also, the same column count and expression count both are same. Very important point. Understand? So you no need to use countex function. Always count function, what it will return, countex is also returning the same thing, right? See here. Well, records or not? Any doubts in this one? Understand clearly or not? No, no, no. Function Chiranjeev. See, count and count rows are both are different. Okay. Why different means I will tell. See, count is column level count. Count rows is table level count. Okay. So then column level and count, column level count and table level count, both are same only, right? Both are same or not? No. Yes, very good. What is that? Whenever you are using count function, I already clearly explained in SQL Server, there is a count star, count one, count two, count star, count one, count of column name. I clearly explain you differences. Same here also. Count star is nothing but count rows. Understand? Count of column name is nothing but what is that? Count function here. Understand? There is some differences is there, right? I clearly explained in SQL Server. Okay. Null values are not considered, right? And you are using count of column name or count of one. Okay. Right? So here also same. There is a difference will be there. But normally if you have all the values, if the column having not null values are there, then count and count rows both are written the same value. Understand clearly, Chiranjeev? Understand. Next one is distinct count. Distinct count means removing a duplicates. Distinct count means removing a duplicates of that particular column and returns the value. And it will count how many records are there. Let's see with example. Suppose, for example, is that clear or not? Let's see. What it will happen? I'm taking the sales column count. In that, null values is there or not? Blank values are. So if blank values after removing duplicates, how many blank values are there? One blank value, right? So one blank value, one 2000, one 3000, one 4000. How many are there? Four. You understand or not? See, here distinct count means removing the duplicates. After removing the duplicate, what result it is getting? With that result count, it will count the records. Understand? So here there are duplicate values are there. More than one duplicate values are there. If it is null values are there, see here, more than one null value is there or not? If it is more than one null value, it will, how many values it will consider after applying distinct count? Only one. Understand? After applying a distinct count, here the null values it will consider how many duplicates are there, but it will consider only one null value. And one 2000, one 3000, one 4000. Total how many records are there? Four. That is what it is showing here. Understand clearly or not? Any doubts in this one? Next one is distinct count no blank means. I will tell you. How many? You understand or not? Distinct count, no blank. That means, what is the meaning of this one? First, it will remove the blank values. Remaining values, whatever it is there, though on those values, it will remove the duplicate values. What is the first option? First, you have to remove the blank values. Understand? So after removing the blank values, what values are there? 2000, 3000, and 4000. In those values, it will remove the duplicate values. After removing the duplicate values, what values are there? Those values it will count and it will give the result. Understand? Suppose first blank values are removed. Here it is 2000, 2000, and 3000 is there. Then how many records are displayed? 2. Because 2000 two times are there. Only it will consider only one value. After removing blank values, it will remove the duplicate values. After removing duplicate values, how many records are there? 2000 and 3000 is the 2 records. Okay, but here actually there is a distinct values are there. Then 3 values are displaying here. Understand clearly or not? Huh? Next one is max. Max means what type of columns you need to pass inside the max function? Numeric, decimal, date also we can pass. Very, very important point is in max function or min function, you have to pass either date column or numeric column or decimal column. Understand clearly or not? Very, very important point. Here. What is the maximum value here? 23. 23 only, right? Okay. So can we apply max function on date column? Yes, maximum date it will display. Can we apply it on decimal column? Yes. Understand or not? Max or min function we can apply it on only numeric, decimal, and date related columns. Understand clearly? Okay. See, max here means like along with the numeric or decimal or date, true or false is also accepted, but we cannot use the A related category of functions. Next one is max x. Max x means same. Means what is that syntax? Huh? Table name, comma, expression. Syntax is common for all the x related functions. Okay. See here. Suppose, can we write like this or not? Yes. See, in while you are writing an expression, it's not compulsory to pass only columns. You can pass the static values also. Understand? So this is the column, and in place of another column, I'm passing a static value. What is that one? What expression it is generating? Okay. In that, see, that means whatever ID column is there, for that ID column, it is multiplied with 2. In that, whatever maximum value it is there, that it will return. What is the maximum value? 46. Because whatever maximum value is there, if you multiply it with 2, what is that one? 46. That is what result it is getting here. Understand or not? Is that clear or not? Okay. Similar like min x. Okay. You can try with this function. Next one is product and product x is not required. Next one is sum and sum x. Sum means what type of columns we need to pass inside the sum function? Numeric or decimal? Only these two columns only we can pass. Numeric or decimal. Okay. So there is an ID column in append 4, right? Can we apply sum on ID column or not? Can we apply sum on sales column? Yes, numeric column only, right? Numeric or decimal, any type of column, it will calculate the total value of that particular column and will give the result, right? Okay, understand or not? 131 it is. If you want, you can total this value and see the same 131 will be displayed here. Understand clearly or not? Okay. Okay. Next one is sum x, right? What is sum x will do? Huh? What is sum x syntax it is? Table name comma expression. It is common. The same syntax. Only the function name is changed. That's it. Okay. Here, suppose for example, append for table name comma expression is id plus else. Understand clearly? What it is calculated? First, it will add these two values. See, if you want. Here, sales means what is that one? 0. It will consider as 0. Okay, 1 plus 0, 1. And this one, 2. Okay, 2 plus 1, how much it is? 3 it is. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. 15 plus 11? Huh? 26. 26 plus 12? 38. 38 plus 13? 51, right? 51 plus 14? 65. 65 plus these two values. Understand or not? And these two values, these two values. Like this, we can add these values and we'll get the result is this is the one. Understand clearly or not? Is that clear or not? Hmm? So this is about aggregation functions. Please note it down. In all these functions, okay, we are discussing all the functions, right? In all the functions, whichever is important, that there is a separate category will be there. Those only we need to discuss. See here. So after completing the category, I will give you some important functions on that category particular. At least if you prepare those functions, that is fine. No need to prepare what I explained each and everything in that one. Okay. See, these are the one. Okay. If you prepare these functions, that is fine. For each and every category, we are discussing at the time of discussing the category, we are discussing all the functions. Once it is once the category is completed, these are the important in that particular category of functions. At least if you prepare these functions, that is fine. What is the next category of functions? Date time functions. Very important. Okay. Next category is date time functions. See, in this date time function, see, in date time function, must and should you need to pass date columns only we have to use. In all the date time functions, must and should we have to use only date related columns, not any other columns. Understand? The date data type of columns only you can pass inside the date time functions. Okay. In that, first function is calendar function. What is that? Calendar function. Okay. This calendar function always it will create a new data set. Understand or not? It always create a new data. Very, very important point. Calendar function always we have to apply it in new table only, because it will create a new data set. Don't apply this calendar function in new measure or in new column. Always you have to apply calendar function in new table option. What is calendar function will do? Okay. Inside the calendar function, you need to pass the start date and end date. What is that calendar function? You need to pass like a start date and end date. In between start date and end date, what are all the dates is there? Each and every date will be generated. Suppose I'm giving start date is January 1st, 2024. Okay. Eh, the end date is I'm giving like December 31st, 2024. Then what will happen from start date to end date? What are all the dates are there? Each and every month, each and every date will be displayed in that one. Understand? Okay, let's see with this. Okay, how we can implement this one. In which option we can apply? New table only. Always calendar function we can apply it on new table only. Inside the calendar function, you need to pass only two dates. Start date and end date. First, initially we need to pass the static values. After that, we need to like pass how we need to pass the column values. Okay, see here. Calendar. Okay, start date, comma, end date. Start date means how you can mention. Suppose first you need to pass the static dates. Okay, after that we can pass. We need to discuss about the column date. Okay, if you want to pass the start date and end date, how you can give the static dates here? See here. See how you can mention date related values. Huh? Okay, how you can give the static dates, not single quotes. In SQL Server, single quotes. In Power BI, double quotes. Very important point. In Power BI, double quotes. In SQL Server, single quotes. Understand? Okay. See here. This one. So, what is the format of date? Very good. Whatever format you are given in SQL Server, same format here also we can use. Very important point is when you are passing a date value, static date value, must and should you have to give within this double quotes. Within the double quotes, how the format will be there? Year, hyphen, month, hyphen, day. Like that only you have to give. Okay, even SQLs are also you are giving like that only, right? Same Power BI also. But here for character static value or for date static value, how you can mention? Inside the double quotes. Understand? In SQL Server, single quotes. Here, double quotes it is. Understand? See here. Suppose, for example, what is the year? The year 2024. Nash 0101. Like this. Understand or not? See here, all the dates will be generated. Each and every month, each and every date will be displayed. See here, I'm giving this is the start date, comma, this is the end date. Understand? So, inside the calendar function, you need to give start date and end date. Only how to give this one. See here. For January month, how many days are there? So that means, see, start date and it is there, right? In between that, what are all the dates that it will be displayed? Along with that, these two dates are also must. It will be there into that one. Understand clear or not? See here. January 1st, 2024. After that, January 2nd. After that, January 3rd, 4th, 5th. See here, January related first, it will be completed up to whatever all the dates are there, it will display here. After that, February. After that, March. March related all the dates. After that, April, all the dates. May, all the dates. Like that up to December. Understand clearly or not? Okay. That means in between these two dates, what are all the dates will be there? Those calendar dates, what it is, those it will be displayed. Is it clear or not? Hmm? Understand or not? Okay. Vijay, I have a doubt here. What is the doubt is, can we give like this? Can we give like this? Start date is the maximum date and end date is the minimum date. Can we give like this? You understand what I'm saying here? Executed. It will throws an error. Why it is error? Because always start date less than or equal to end date. Understand? Start date always less than or equal to end date. Is the start date always less than or equal to end date? No, right? It is greater, right? That's the reason it will throw. That means this is very, very important point. Okay, while you are mentioning any particular start date and end date, always start date less than or equal to end date. This is very, very important point. Based on that only it will be executed. Is that clear or not? See here, this is the start date and this is the end date. Okay, when you are passing like this, what will happen? It will throw us an error. Okay. If you are giving both start date and end date, if it is same dates, it is accepted. Understand or not? If the same date, it is accepted. Okay. Or else less than or equal to. Less than also it is accepted. Equal also it is accepted. Understand clearly or not? See here. Is that clear or not? This is calendar function. Calendar start date and end date. See, this is static dates I'm passing. If I'm passing column dates, how we can pass the column dates? See, you know how to pass the static dates, start date and end date. I want to pass column values. Then how can we pass? Suppose there is a financial data set is there. In that financial data set, there is a date column is there. Can we pass the date column directly there? No, because date column contains, is it a single value? Multiple values are there. In a date column, there are multiple values are there. But here calendar function start date and date is accepting only one date. Then how can we pass only one date for that particular date column? What functions? See, we cannot, that's what I am saying. You cannot directly pass the date columns inside the calendar function because the date column contains more than one value is there. But it is Power BI doesn't understand what type of, that means in those values, what value I need to pick it. Okay, because the start date and end date, you have to pass only one date value. But if I'm using a date, if I'm using a date columns, you know, static values, you can pass it. But if you want to pass the date column values, means how you can pass? You have to use min and max functions, right? Min of financial date column. Okay. Comma. Max of financial date column. When you are passing like this, what will happen? What is the meaning of this one? Min function will take minimum date from this particular financial date. Whatever minimum date is there, that it will consider as the start date. Understand that? When you are passing the column values inside the calendar function, must and should you have to use min and max functions. Inside the min and max function, you need to pass your date columns. Understand clearly or not? Okay. See here now. Executed. Understand clearly or not? Vijay, again I have a doubt here. What is the doubt is, see here, inside and min and max, you are using the same date column, right? Can we use different date column from different data set? You understand my question or not? You understand my question or not? See here, inside min and max, same data set, same date column I'm using. Can we use different date column in the same data set or in different data set? Can we use like that? Yes, we can use that one. In min and max function, either we can use the same date columns or else different date columns in the same data set, or else different date columns in different data set also you can use it. Understand clearly or not? Suppose in min, financial date column you are passing. In max, there is in the financial, if suppose there is other date column is there, that also you can pass it. Or else another data set date column also you can pass it here. But don't forget the rule. What is that rule? Always start date less than or equal to end date. This is the rule must and should be satisfied. Understand what I am saying? Inside the min and max in calendar function, either you can pass the same data set date column or else different data set date columns also you can pass it. Understand clearly or not? Is that clear or not? Okay. You can pass different data set date columns also you can use it here. But while you are passing the different data set date columns, must and should your rule must and should be satisfied. Calendar rule must and should be satisfied. What is that rule? Start date always less than or equal to end date. This must and should be satisfied. Understand clearly or not? Don't forget this one. Is that clear? Next, calendar auto is not required. Okay. Next one is date function. What is date function will do? Date function, we can apply it on new column. Okay. We can apply date function in new column. Okay. See here. Date. Inside the date, what you need to pass here? Year, month, day. First, you need to discuss about, okay, static values. After that, column values. Okay. How you can pass year means you know the year, right? Okay. Suppose 2019, comma 06 month. Month is 06 and day is 25. Can we write like this or not? Can we write like this or not? Yes, we can write it. See here. See clearly in the date function. Okay. On the top, see here in the syntax, it is shows like what you need to pass inside that one. Year means year format only. Okay. Understand? Month means month one, like this. Just you need to pass the numeric values inside this date function. Automatically, it will convert it into date format. Understand or not? See here, I'm just passing the numeric values inside that one. It will be converted into date format and it will give the result. Understand clearly or not? Is that clear or not? Okay. Next one is, so not this one, date. So first, you understand the static values. Vijay, I want to pass the column values. How can we pass the column values? See here. Suppose, for example, inside this one, if you want to pass the column values, date columns only you need to pass. Can we pass the date column directly there? No. Here, what you need to pass? Here, only year, only month, only day. You need to pass, right? That means if you want to pass the date columns inside the date function means directly we cannot pass the date column because the date contains multiple values, right? Year, month, day will be there. How Power BI will recognize which one is the year, which one is the month, and which one is the day? So you have to pass. When you are passing date columns inside the date function, directly we cannot pass the date columns inside the date function. Okay, what you have to use? You have to use a functions called year, month, day function. Must and should you have to use those functions. After that, we can implement it. Understand? So for year function. Inside the year function, you need to pass the date column. Okay. Understand? For month, date. For day, date. Understand clearly or not? If you want to pass the date columns inside the date function means directly you cannot pass it. You have to use functions called year, month, day functions and generate that one. Understand clearly or not? Is that clear? Okay. What is the next category of function? What is the next category? Date diff. Date diff means difference between two dates. Date diff function is also available in SQL Server or not? What date diff function will do? It will calculate the difference between two dates. When to use this date diff function? When we have to use this date diff function? Huh? When we have to use this dative function? If you want to calculate the age, if you want to calculate the experience, all these things we have to do it in dative function. If dative function also we can apply it on new column only. In this dative, in new column, if you pass the dative function means must and should you have two date columns. In dative function, if you want to implement dative function means in dative function, two date columns must and should it required. Okay, because if you want to if you want to calculate our age means how you can calculate birth date, okay, and current date. Difference of the years is like age it is. Experience also doing the same thing, right? Same here also. In dative must inside the dative function, if you want to implement the dative function, inside the dative function must and should you need to pass two date columns. Okay, see here, date diff. Okay, what is that? Calendar date. Start date I am giving here. End date also you have to give. See, must and should you need to pass interval. In dative also, in SQL server also, you are using interval, right? Based on the interval only, what differences you want to calculate. You can calculate the difference of years. You can calculate the difference of months. You can calculate the difference of day. You can calculate the difference of hour, minute, and second, everything. But those related one, first you have to pass it in interval. Suppose I'm giving like day here. Okay. Then what difference it will calculate? Day difference will be calculated. That means from this date to this date, how many days it will happen? Those difference will be calculated. See? Okay. Suppose if the interval you are passing as a month here. Okay. Then month difference will be calculated. Okay. If you are passing like year means year difference will be calculated. Understand clearly or not? Okay. If you are passing hour, minute also, how many hours are happening in between those two dates? So if you are passing hour, if you want to calculate hour, minute, second means must and should you have to pass date and time related columns. Understand clearly or not? When you are passing date and time related column, then only the difference will be calculated, right? Understand clearly or not? Any doubts in this one? Huh? So we can stop it here and we'll continue remaining functions tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow, what functions remaining? 100% we need to complete tomorrow, like other date time functions. Okay. We'll try to complete all the other date time functions. And next topic is text functions. Text DAX functions. Very, very important. If you know complete functions in SQL Server, we can easily handle in Power BI. That's the reason, like remember, okay. So when you are going to discuss about DAX functions means please refer to SQL Server functions and come back to here. Then you will understand what is that function and everything. If you prepare one category of function, either in SQL Server or in Power BI, you can handle both the things. Understand? Okay. So we can stop it here and we'll continue tomorrow. Anyone having any doubts? Can we exclude some days between start date and end date? That's Srinivas. Next function is there. Working days is there. Networking days will be there. There is a function called net working days. At that point of time, I will explain you clearly. Okay. Understand clearly or not? Okay. So we can stop it here and we'll continue tomorrow. Bye, guys.